Welcome to the Business and Brews podcast, where our mission is to highlight local businesses in the Triangle area and shed light on different industries.
I said sorry for the wait. Been a lot on my plate for being great. Been popping it, it's not a debate. Been plotting on ways to align with the greats and find the opposite.
And welcome back to the Business and Brews show, episode 5.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. I'm Gevin Vinson, and
I'm Ryan Smeltz.
And today we have with us...
This is Mike Taylor of Tailored Kingz.
So Mike, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, Michael Taylor, I'm born and raised in Durham, North Carolina. Very familiar with the city, and my company is called the Tailored Kingz, and it's a non-profit company, and pretty much that's about it.
All right, good. Thank you for being here, Mike. We definitely appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
All right, Ryan, what are we drinking on here today? Of course, this is Business and Brews, so we have to have the brews to go along with the business.
Absolutely.
Right?
Definitely. So, because it's a little bit of one of my guilty pleasures, besides the Sweet Baby Jesus, this is some more Bold Rock. Round 2 of Bold Rock.
Good. I have the Brute IPA hard cider. What do you have there?
This is the apple.
The apple? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's good. Well, cheers, guys. It's a good episode, right?
Definitely.
All right. So I guess you want to start it off, or?
Yeah, I'm down.
You want to kick off?
I'm excited to have Mike here because basically Gevin and I were talking a little bit about how we can get new guests on. We really, really like the different industries things. So one thing that excites me about you is that you're actually the first nonprofit that we've had on this show. So what I really want to know, Mike, is kind of how you came up with the idea and how you got started, like that origin story.
Well, in life I went through a lot, without really getting too deep into my testimony, but my father was absent, so I grew up looking for love in other areas, which allowed me to venture off into other things, And as I got older, I went to prison. And when I went to prison, I was introduced to an opportunity to really change my life. And it was then that I began to have one-on-one time with God, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a difference in, your mother praying for you, your grandma praying for you, and then you actually praying for yourself, crying out for yourself for change, for the better. So that's what happened, and God gave me my blueprint, what it was that he wanted me to do, and that was to start Tailored Kingz. And Tailored Kingz is a nonprofit company that goes after the at-risk community, basically people that society has already given up on. And before anybody is accepted into Tailored Kingz, they have to write a paragraph about their life, their current situation that they're in, And a lot of the essays, a lot of the paragraphs that we get, it be the youth that's just looking for a male role model, Mm-hmm. And they have tried crying out in so many ways, mothers and fathers working 2-3 jobs to maintain bills and take care of the rest of the kids. It's kind of like when they come home, they brush that off and try to get into bed and get ready to prepare and start for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Right. All the while that child is still going along without having nobody to talk to, so the stuff builds up, Right. And so in 2010, I started a nonprofit that was called Push for the Youth. At that point, when I started that, I was really still in the streets and out of the streets, so I wasn't concrete in that, you know what I'm saying? Part of the reason for that was I was looking for funding. I was asking people, submitting stuff on letterheads to all different type of companies, and because I was who I was and I started the way I started, no one wanted to fund what was going on. So I did only what I knew to do, and that was to revert back to the street money, income to help me push my nonprofit. Right. So when I got locked up, basically, God gave me the blueprint to start anew. Start anew, do it all over, and have no ties with nothing that I was affiliated with.
Right.
So basically, when I came home, I waited for a little bit, I started working with another nonprofit. Well, I work with different nonprofit companies as vice president. So on some boards I sit on to today. It's a company called, you got Roar, Reaching Out and Reviving Raleigh, that's one. You got Justice Serve in Raleigh, North Carolina. Diane Powell, she heads that, she owns that. And it was different people that I was working with to really get the feel for getting back into my position.
Right.
And
so you were able to leverage the people that are already doing what you already wanted to do and actually able to learn how they were actually doing it and figuring out so you can build what you wanted to build.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's always a good point. I forget, your favorite guy, Gary Vee, is always talking about going to work for whoever you admire, whoever you look up to for free in order to build whatever you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Sorry, we always talk on Gary Vee, so that's Ryan's buddy.
That's a good point that you brought up, though, because that's it. Your role models is who you look up to. You can do the same thing they're doing and 10 times better if you put your mind to it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I like the way you said that. That was good. Gary Vee, I got to check Gary Vee out.
Gary Vaynerchuk. Hopefully we can get a little bit of compensation for the plug, but
I got to check Gary Vee on out.
I doubt it very seriously. Well, good, man. I mean, of course, I want to be the first to say, thank you for all that you do, man. I mean, I think that what you do, we talked about this off camera, but I think that what you're doing, there is a need for it, and I think that's kind of a hole that a lot of people fall into, and they really can't see their way out of. So, we really appreciate what you do for the community and everything that you're working on.
Appreciate that. I appreciate it. Definitely.
Yeah, man, definitely. So, I guess my main question is, with that, I mean, of course, that's the origin story. So, what challenges are you currently facing in the nonprofit world and trying to grow what you're trying to get to right now?
Man, you got so many challenges, man. My biggest challenge would be just everybody that's in the same line of work that claim it's for the same reason. You got a lot of people with hidden agendas, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what happens is you have to weave out who would it, you got to weave it out. And I get a lot of people that want to book me to come speak, but it's like when I tell them what I've acquired, it's I don't know why we have to pay you to do X, Y, Z, but it's like at the end of the day, I still run a company. You know what I'm saying? So my compensation goes towards everything that I got going on, and as well as my time to be there.
Exactly.
Then I don't charge for everything I do. If it's a live like a school, a middle school or something like that, that's a whole different ball game.
Right.
Normally, I just typically do that.
Right.
But as far as going into like the prison systems and stuff like that, that's a free service of mine.
Yeah.
But anything else that's just going out and speaking and stuff like that, like empowerment speaking, I do acquire some type of monetary on top of that.
Okay.
But
so just really trying to get people to understand, and it seems like in the nonprofit world, there's really no real handbook or playbook that you have to abide by. So it seems like there are a lot of different kinds of.
The only thing is with the nonprofit, you really can't put prices on what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what you do, it has to be considered a donation in so many words. That's why a lot of places you go, they take up what they call an offering. We're going to do a love offering for X, Y, Z. Yeah. Or we're going to do just a gratitude thing for them, But a lot of times you run into situations where, like, and with what I do, I run into situations where you have 5 or 6 people that want to book you the same day in the same week, for the same thing. Like Stop the Violence, the month, like this month of October, the month of September, October. This is a month where it's really already kicking off. Like today I was in Hillsborough speaking. So as soon as I left there, I had to go somewhere else. And then it was like for the rest of the month, I'm booked back to back, from here on all the way down to Atlanta. Yeah. So it's just a lot of different things that's going on that's taking place. And not only do I charge for that, but I do have a t-shirt line that I push with my nonprofit. So when I leave a facility, I can leave the people with something, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really charge people for that. I feel
Right.
like that's something that I can do.
Right.
One thing that I realize is you can go and you can speak to somebody to their blue, or you can beat it in their head all day long. But if you don't do something tangible for them, a lot of times they tend to forget.
Right.
So what I like to do is I like to leave them here, man. You know, I love you, bro. Take this T-shirt every time you think about doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just look at that shirt, man. Let that remind you. You know, on the back of the shirts is sayings and just Tailored Kingz across the front. And one thing about the Tailored Kingz is that we are really teaching men to get back in position, being the providers, being the head of the household, being a father, being a husband, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that we really push with the Tailored Kingz.
That's awesome.
That's cool, man. So when you tell me about speaking and stuff, I think of just the guys that get up in front of audiences. Maybe Eric Thomas or my favorite, Gary V.
Another name drop.
So what is I'm curious what it feels like for you, and I'm curious what is your goal with the different audiences? Like if you have a younger crowd versus an older crowd and stuff like that.
Well, me right now, where I'm at in my career, I really, I'm really pulled more towards the younger youth. My reason for that is, it's not the older generation that you really have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? It's the younger ones. It's the ones that's 11, 12, 13, 14 that's growing up.
They're the most impressionable.
Yeah, and they you got music today, for instance, right? It reflects dramatically on culture. You know what I'm saying? Privatized neighborhoods and that sort of thing. They magnify the music, but the people don't understand the hustle behind the music. They're selling an illusion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Half of the people that's rapping, they got deals now. They're not selling drugs no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you got the youth that don't pay attention to that. So what they do is they say, okay, your guy that said something about selling 100 keys, I'm gonna try to get 100 keys. That's their goal. Right. But you don't even understand the time that's behind an ounce of cocaine. So you get caught with 100 keys versus an ounce of cocaine. You don't even know the difference in what you're talking about. But like I was telling somebody today, the appearance is what the youth is selling it for.
Right.
And so that's my thing. When I go somewhere, I love tattoos. I'm covered. So when I go somewhere, I let them see it's okay to be yourself. If you want to be tattooed, you want to go get you a gun, get it legit. Yeah. Carry it. Put it on your hip. Ain't no need to be in the car riding with it under your seat. You ride through the hood. The neighborhood is already targeted for being a high drug infested neighborhood. So why would you put yourself in a situation to even have to be faced with that type of conflict?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's some of the things that we do. But I'm more in the hood still. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what we do is we go back. It's not, we don't run away from it. We don't get stuck in the building and that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people who grow their nonprofits and they become prone to hide behind those four walls. Right. Just like some churches, these pastors be in the same situation.
Yeah.
Then you wonder why you go out and people don't respect, what you got going on.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. A very valid point. I mean, you definitely have to be out there in the community and involved. I mean, that's kind of the idea behind community outreach is that you be out in the community.
But see, then you got to say so that these people, and one thing about it, I really don't apply for too much government funding and stuff like that because I don't want nobody trying to implement the move, you know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of people that get these grants and these loans and stuff, and what they write in they paperwork is totally different from what they do when they receive the funds, which makes it harder for people like myself that do it all from the ground. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, I do have people who sponsor me. I do have certain people who put money up when it's time to do certain events, but I don't want to, build what I have going on solely off of somebody else. I believe in the community. Like when you start a ministry, right? You go off tithes and offering. You don't go off alone. You go off for what the people give you. right? So if you beneficial and your company is beneficial, the people will have no problem pushing your company.
Right.
But it's got to be beneficial. So that's another reason why I thank both of y'all for even having me here to even speak about this, because this is real. You don't get this. You don't get people that's concerned about what you have going on to help you broadcast what you have going on. You just don't get it like that.
Absolutely. And I think you actually touched on something there, which is another great question. So how much of, how steep was the learning curve as far as understanding like how a business works inside and out while building your nonprofit? How did that transition go for you?
Well, with my nonprofit, I went to a lot of nonprofit seminars. Right?
Okay.
And a lot of the nonprofit seminars that you go to, they're free. And the only thing that I did was I really purchased the material.
Right.
So you had some books that may have been, I think my most expensive book was probably $550, you know what I'm saying? But once you buy this stuff and you get to reading up on this stuff, and I mean, I spent hours reading in my office at home, just reading, man, penning stuff and putting it up. And my biggest thing was learning about the nonprofit credit, you know what I'm saying? And learning about just how to not, in so many words, not to beat your company down in the ground. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that with a nonprofit that they can't make money, and that's not accurate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my biggest thing I could say would be just going to these seminars and really paying attention.
Right.
You know, because it's tricky. If your paperwork ain't right, the IRS audit you, they come back and stuff they ain't add up. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So you got to definitely make sure. Then when you start getting stuff like different entities, cars and builders and stuff like that, they go to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? So you really got to be. It's to me, it's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? If it's your heart, it's your vision and it's your goal to do something. To me, I sit down and I man it until I got it. You know what I'm saying? I ask questions like I heard you speak about what's his name? Gary V. As a mentor. So in my lane, I have a guy by the name of Victor Glover. He go by Bishop Glover, and this is the guy. He's the CEO and the founder of Fathers on the Move, which is another group that I facilitate as well with Fathers on the Move. And this guy actually is in the prisons. He did federal time himself as well. Been home 21 years. But everything that he accumulated, right, from his nonprofit to his churches, you know, he done this in the same way that I done this, you know. So when I came home, a lot of the questions I had, we sat down and we got to the bottom of these questions, you know. We did a face-to-face interview. We did conferences all online and all type of stuff just to make sure we understood what we was getting into. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, so it's just...
Yeah, that education piece is so important. I mean, no matter whether you're looking at a nonprofit or any other industry or business, that education piece is monumental. And surrounding yourself around the right mentors.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to have your mentors.
Very too valuable.
Got to have your mentors.
Definitely. I like it because you can tell he's passionate.
Yeah,
and
I love
because
that, right?
what you're doing is local, and that's what our focus is. I think you fit well here. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that just by itself.
See, that's another thing that you even bring that up, right? Is because you got a lot of people that the youth will put their faith and trust in you quick. And even going back to pastors, or in so many words, the basketball coach that got caught molesting the kids and all this crazy stuff that's going on. But you got the youth that'll give you all of their trust, man. And what I don't understand is you have people that are still willing to cross a child.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You would still go to the greatest depths to deceive a child. Somebody that already has nobody. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing with Tailored Kingz, that I make sure that all of my men are trained. So it's a training that you go through when you become a part of Tailored Kingz. Everything about you has to fit who you are. You know, so when you go out here and you speaking, and you out here doing whatever you're doing, you got to reflect the Kings, period. Because it's just so crazy because, man, like one of the events I was at recently, man, you know, I had an 11-year-old girl come out of the crowd, you know, and her thing was, you know, Mr. Taylor, can I speak to you? Yeah, baby, sure. You know, she just put her head on me and broke down crying. And I'm like, hold up, you know, as the owner of my company, I don't hug the youth any type kind of way, especially a female. Right, so I, you know, pushed off to my hip and I hugged her, you know what's going on. Long story short, she was being molested by her father, by her stepfather, for the past 6 months. So you have things that take place, and her thing was, I tried to tell my mother about it. My mother told me I was lying. Mm-hmm. And my thing, being who I am, stuff like that, really, it hurts me to the fact where you have people that's in position to help you do what you're trying to do. Everybody is not going to hit where you hit. Right. I done had people come to me and say, Mike, man, why did you put so much time into what you do? Why did you give the youth so much of your time? But that's what I'm focused on. You know what I'm saying? I really want to see the people change. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's not the older people out here buying all this music today. It's the younger people. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not the older people out here really commit. You may have some older people selling drugs and still gang banging and stuff like that. But as far as the crime, murdering, breaking and entering, shooting just to be shooting, that's the kid, that's the youth. Yeah. So that's my thing, man, is just really being able to hit what's going on, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That definitely is that's a great point. I mean, it does all start with the youth. I mean, that's exactly where it starts in you. That's a valid point. Very valid. So I guess on another note, so when you're not out empowering people and speaking positivity and all the other things that go along with the nonprofit, what do you like to do for fun?
I'm a dog breeder.
A dog breeder?
Yeah, I got a line of German rocks and I got a XXL bullet line, man. So, okay. That's one of my biggest things, man. I love cattle. I love land. Yeah. Me and my wife are in the process now of getting our first horse, man.
Oh, wow. That's
so
we frustrating life. I love it.
That's it, man. I mean, pretty much that and trying to reconstruct other ways to fund my company. So I got like a mobile detailing thing that I do on the weekends sometimes. And I got like other little things that I do as far as with the clothing line as well. But yeah, that's it. My biggest thing is my animals. I love my animals, man. I'm a father too. I got 2 daughters.
Oh, really? How old?
Yeah, I got an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old, man. So you know they keep you running, man.
Yes, they do, man. Yes, they do. I have a 4-year-old myself. Ryan's you're up next, buddy. You're up next. You're engaged, so it's not too long away.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting.
So you're waiting.
You done crossed the first step already and put that ring on. Oh, the rings don't come back when they don't come back.
That's hard for those to come back. You're exactly right, man. Exactly right. Yeah. So you want to hit the big three?
Yeah. I'm going to use your cheat sheet here.
Oh, come on.
Okay. So, because we just came up with this and we want to follow a certain format. Okay. I'm pretty excited about this because you're the first person who gets to hear it this way. Okay. So we have 3 questions we've had brewing. What are you currently reading? What do you like to do when you're not working? And where can people find you, Mike, and your business?
What am I currently reading? I'm actually reading Gandhi.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I like history. So I read a lot of Malcolm, a lot of Gandhi is a guy that Malcolm X introduced in one of his books as his role model, actually. And I actually went out to Duke campus. It's a professor by the name of Dr. Prasad, right? I sit up under her and we do a lot of talking. She's actually from India. And she's actually a film producer herself. She makes her own film. And Gandhi is one of the people that I'm actually reading a lot on right now, man. He was an amazing guy, you know, and for somebody such as Malcolm to refer to you as his role model, given the life that he lived, that spoke volumes for me, so it made me dig deeper. That's one of the biggest things
that's awesome
behind it right now.
That's pretty cool. So I think we talked a
Yeah,
little
we
bit
talked about that, but I guess I was rushed.
It's all
down
good.
the
I
way.
was curious too.
Yeah.
Something I normally ask at the beginning, we can default to though, is mine is my favorite beer is Sweet Baby Jesus, and you said I can't remember yours.
I said Chimay.
Okay,
Yeah, Chimay.
what's your favorite beer?
Oh, favorite beer. I'm a classic. I like a Corona with a lime.
I like it. Yeah.
He
That's
said
what
it's
it's
good.
been. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Corona with a lime. That's about.
And Mike, I think we have this one as last because I feel like it's probably the most important one.
Mm-hmm.
Where can people find you and your business?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook right now. Facebook is my name is Michael D. Taylor on Facebook.
Okay.
The company name up under my name it is Tailored Kingz as the organization. Any bookings will go through the Facebook as well from
Okay.
now until my website goes back up. But my website is tailoredkingz.com.
Cool.
So yeah, it'd be it's tailoredkingfoundation.com. But it'd be the same exact way. And VA, email, phone, either way.
Yeah.
I'm very accessible, very accessible. So again, if there's any need, any type of community event, any type of event put together, and anyone needs somebody to come speak, not sugarcoat it, and keep it always real, definitely reach out to me, and I'm willing to be there.
Sweet deal, man.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Well, I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks so much.
I appreciate y'all.
Thanks
No
for
problem,
coming.
man. No problem, man. That concludes our episode. Thank you guys for tuning in to watch. We definitely appreciate it. And any last words? Go ahead.
Before we close out, what's his name?
Gary V.
Gevin Vinson. Hey man, you need to send some love down this way, 'cause these brothers believe in you.
That's
Gevin.
right, man. That's right. Appreciate it, Mike. We'll see you guys on the next one.
I said sorry for the wait. Been a lot on my plate for being great. Been popping it, it's not a debate. Been plotting on ways to align with the greats and find the opposite of Hollywood and someone to date. She got 100 followers and turn love and hip hop. Just stop. I saw you yesterday at the thrift shop. We all on the way to stay afloat when the ship stop. Wish income could instantly appear in my inbox. Still, I'm getting mine right. Time is finite. That's why I find height inside the limelight.